Hello everybody, Suzanne Kellner-Zinck with Dawning Visions Hypnosis. We're going to continue our videos on why males with eating disorders are not getting the help they need. And in this particular video, we're going to speak to why that may be, why medical professionals do not take males with eating disorders seriously. It really comes down to the fact that most males who have eating disorders are actually dealing with muscle dysphoria. What that means is that instead of working to get themselves really thin as the females do, they're more interested in building up their muscles to have a perfect male body. So when they go to the doctor and they say to them, I'm dealing with this eating disorder and I'm having a really hard time, it's getting control of my mind, the doctor looks at them and says, you look very healthy to me. There's no problem here. This is the problem. How can anyone get help when you're being dismissed by the medical professionals who are there to help you? Great question. And as I repeatedly say in these videos, the main problem is that, well, the diagnostic statistical manual that the psychs use to diagnose mental health problems doesn't even talk to the idea that males have eating disorders. And the reality is that there's 10 million of them in the United States right now. And yet they're dismissed. So what is a person to do? Well, I've made it my newest mission to actually give help to the males, specifically those who are teenagers and in their 20s, to get the help that they require. Now, there is one caveat in this, okay? If you are a male and you are underweight, I am not going to be able to help you. I am not a medical professional as such. And for that, unfortunately, you need medical care. And if you're that thin, they'll give you the medical care because it's obvious you need it. But those of you who look healthy, and yet you're having these loops in your brain telling you that you're unworthy of love, that you look like shit, that you're not ever going to be anybody, you know those things that are going around in your head. I don't have to tell you what they are. That are causing the addictions that you have, because these are addictions. Anytime we have compulsive thoughts that lead to impulsive behaviors of the self-harming kind, of which you know you are doing if you're taking steroids, if you are using laxatives, if you are working out way too many hours a day, and not eating enough calories, especially protein, to allow your body to heal between workouts. You know who you are. If this is you, I'm going to tell you right here, right now. I offer services to you, and they have been proven over 17 years. It is done individually in your own home through Wi-Fi, and it's at basically 1/4 of the price of the inpatient services that people can get in residential treatment centers today in the United States. And that is because I do not need to have medical staff available 24/7 to you. And I do not need you to live there and eat the food, etc. You can do it all from the privacy of your home. It's still not that inexpensive, people. It's $20,000. It's 1/4 off residential programs. And you best take advantage of it before you end up needing a residential program. Because this is the other things that I can tell you about residential programs. They're about 5% effective. Why? Because they never get to the cause of the problem. They never get to the purpose as to why you are continuing to do this behavior. They don't work with a compelling future, which is what we all need to focus on in order to let go of anything that is especially an addiction, and anything that actually our unconscious mind developed to protect us in any way, shape, or form, in ways that are no longer necessary in the circumstances we are now living. And lastly, they do not deal with it as an addiction in most cases. They deal with it as basically you need to understand how to eat appropriately. And some of the programs might get to the cause, but many of them are not able to help you with the addictions process. They'll send you to a 12-step program. There you'll learn that you'll have this problem for the rest of your life. And that means fighting it for the rest of your life. Now, I don't know about you, but I know that when I was diagnosed with bipolar 2, I was not willing to have the conventional mental health system tell me what my mind was capable of doing. And I'm happy to tell you that as of 2004, that particular problem hasn't been a part of my life at all. And I can also tell you, since 2006 or so, maybe even 2005, I've had many individuals come to me, generally in their late teens and mid to late 20s, get help with their anorexia and their bulimia. And they have never had to look back. Because I'm not interested in managing anything. I'm interested in you letting it out of your life for good so you can have a really great quality of life for the rest of your life. That is a priceless thing to have in your world. There is no amount of money payable to A, save your life, because I know 1/3 of all males will end up committing suicide when they have eating disorders, or dying of the eating disorder itself. That's a fact. For the females, it's about 20% death rate. So it's the highest death rate of any mental illness. And yet people do not talk about it enough. They do not really have the services to help the many people who are suffering from it. And that's why we have a lot of adults that are still dealing with it. However, in the world of hypnotism, it's so much easier for me to work with kids who are still in their unconscious minds because their prefrontal cortexes are not fully developed, meaning that I can use the same hypnotic processes that you use for self-harm to help you heal. How perfect is that? And that's when my clients get excellent results. So if you're interested in learning more, just send me an email at suzanne@dawningvisions.com. I'll have all of my contact info in the description so that you can easily contact me and just put in there that you are a person with eating disorders who would like to learn more about my services. Well, that's all I have for you for today. As always, I thank you for spending your time with me. Till next time. Bye-bye, all.